Hey everyone. In the process of cleaning out my office and moving everything over to the garage, I was sitting there struggling to think, what am I going to do for my next video? And in that process, I ended up taking a look at this guy. And this guy has basically come up with my next video. And you're going to see that now, I guess, aren't you? Kept it fairly simple. I thought, okay, why not do some paper mache? So I threw some plastic wrap on him like this. Make sure I covered all the holes, like so, and like so. And then usual paper mache. I took a bottle of this glue stuff here and mixed it with a little bit of water, made a little bit of a paste, and ripped up some old newspaper, put the newspaper into the glue. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how paper mache works, and ended up with this little mold. So that came off of that. That's basically how it works. As you can see, he's impressed too. So now the question is, what do I do with this? I'm thinking I don't really want to do a full Yoda mask because I don't have the patience to do all the ears, and that'd probably just be a mess anyway. And I was thinking just make something else with it. I thought I could go so many ways. Not really sure where I'm going with it, but then I thought, okay, well, I've got to paint it at least. And in painting it, one of my first thoughts came back to some of the river clay that I have. So I took some of the river clay and I've diluted it in water. I've already done a little test patch that you can see right there, and that has actually dried quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is basically cover this in creek clay. And we're going to let all that dry. See how that dries up. But in addition to that, I've been doing a little bit of research on how ancient civilizations did paint. And I came to, obviously, Egypt. And I think a lot of it mentioned they would use things like clay coming out of creeks, and then you could use slightly different colors depending on the region you live in. I mean, obviously not all clay is gray. And again, I have my pottery that I ground up. So I was thinking of taking some of that, and we're going to dump that. Get my little sieve here, and we're going to dump some of that, get only the finer stuff. I'll put that back in there for now. And then we're going to add some water into there, and we're going to see how this does. So swirl that all around. Might be a little bit runny, so we'll add some more in. I'll get another brush out of here. Give that a mix. Still way too runny. So we're going to thicken that up quite a bit. As you can see, I'm making quite a mess, which is another very good reason that I came into the garage, because if I made this kind of mess in my office, I think I'd be upset, never mind the rest of the family. Here, it's a pretty easy cleanup. I mean, I've still got a cement floor, so basically just brush everything away. Anyway, that's thickened up a little bit. I don't really like this brush because I've sort of ruined that. So we're just going to take this. Don't worry, I'm going to wash them all anyway. And that's still kind of running. So that's not going to work too well right now. I think we have to grind that up a little bit more. So we'll go back into this and maybe mix a little bit of that. There you go. That's actually looking pretty good so far. Keep brushing around here, and I'm going to put the gray on here for now. I am going to play with this red stuff a little bit more. I'm going to get it to a finer paste, And then we can add the red on top, because I am kind of thinking that if I could do a red on top of here, and then one of the things you can use for coloring in paint is turmeric. So you just sort of raid your spice cabinet. You can look at turmeric, you can look at paprika, same kind of thing. Use some flowers out of the garden, just whatever has color, whatever you find in nature that has a bit of color, just use that, grind it up, and you can basically make a paint out of it. I think one of the elements was if you put in some water and baking soda and then a little bit of color, you sort of come up with paint. Again, I'm sort of on the rough point of my my research once again. But if I go with something like that, and then I'll put a little base coat on there, and we're almost done. A little bit more around the side. Blah, blah, blah. Making a mess out of my table. So there you go. And again, I can do multiple layers on this, and I'm hoping because it's clay, it will harden a bit more than regular paint. If I put on enough layers, this will come out solid as a rock, almost literally and figuratively. So that gives you a rough idea. That's just the first coat, and then obviously, you know, we'll take it from there. We'll see how it looks tomorrow, and then we'll keep adding layers and layers. And I'm hoping this is going to be something really cool in the end. Obviously, I'm going to cut a mouth out. I'll put some eyeballs in there. You can see the rough idea of where the nose is. I'm thinking horns. I don't know. If you've got any ideas, if you've got any comments, let me know what you think that could look like. And I mean, obviously, I've got a form here, so I can do lots of these things. You know, I can do a different one for every day of the week kind of thing. But let me know what you think, and we'll talk later. Okay, bye.